Hello everybody and welcome back. This is pretty straightforward video. I'm going to give you one word for every playoff contender, the top 12 contenders, I should say. Um, I will elaborate each word. Give me your word in the comments below for each team. One word that describes a team. What should happen, a question, could be anything like that. Here we go. Let's get started. Let's start with the home team. Why not? Michigan's word is pass. Not like pass, they're going to be out of it. No, pass the ball, pass the football. Everyone knows the run game and defense is great at the University of Michigan, but can Michigan and Jim trust JJ to pass in downs, which Michigan normally runs in, and vice versa? If it's a passing down, do they feel the threat of the pass enough to where a draw play can spring for a touchdown? So balance is the key for Michigan, keeping opponents guessing, especially versus a Georgia type defense, an elite defense. So that is Michigan's word. What would your word be for Michigan? Let me know below. Number 2, this is in no order, but Alabama is next, and I think their word is roots. Not like grow roots. Go back to your roots, where you were born. Alabama was like Michigan not long ago. Run first in defense. Somewhere after Joe Burrow lighting them up, they decided, Saban decided, to go pass happy, way too pass happy. And Saban took that Michigan template to Alabama, and with an uber talented team, he succeeded. I think Alabama needs to go back to that type of philosophy where it is the Michigan style, ground and pound, have Heisman running backs like Mark Ingram and Henry, and instead of wide receiver Heisman's like or quarterback Heisman's like Young, and then wide receiver wasn't J-Mo a Heisman for Alabama. They can basically do whatever they want, but I just thought it looked much better. If you have that depth and talent across the board and experience, why not just own people? I think you give teams a way out when you try to pass too much, and that's coming up here. OSU isn't. So that's my take on Alabama. Roots. Go back to your roots. It's been a couple years since you won a national title. Ohio State. I think their word is run. So Michigan's was pass, Ohio State's was run, Alabama's was roots. Like Alabama, I believe Ohio State has wandered into pass-happy territory and forgot what wins. What wins big? The line of scrimmage and the run game wins, especially in the game versus Michigan and Ohio State. With Stroud gone, that might be just perfect for what Ohio State needs to do. Two questionable quarterbacks, unproven quarterbacks. I wouldn't say questionable, unproven. It sounds like Devin Brown. They're high on him. They're saying Heisman for him already. But with Stroud gone, that might force them to run the ball. And I think that would be the best thing for Ohio State. Really, I do. They have Mine Williams, Travion Henderson, the Hayden guy that tore up Maryland, and then he didn't play versus Michigan for some reason last year. I still don't understand that. But some guys are healthy. If the offensive line can get a little bit better, I think the defense is better than most, not most of these teams that I have on here, but they're pretty good, okay? Top 25-ish. in the country. So run the ball, Ohio State. That's my word for you. Notre Dame. Uh, Marshall is the word. Marshall. I could have picked Stanford. They lost to both of them teams last season. Notre Dame has to beat these types of teams. I think Notre Dame has enough talent, and Sam Hartman is a blessing for Marcus Freeman in year 2 at Notre Dame. They have a pretty good offensive line. They have talent, kind of like some of these other teams on here. You just got to put it all together. And Sam Hartman, they get Ohio State at home. We'll see. At number 5, the 5th team is Florida State. No order, like I said, but their word is physicality. I expect more of it. Quarterback and player production returning is great, but can Florida State continue to get more physical on both lines of scrimmage, on the offense and defensive lines? It's a big year. It's a big year for Florida State. Can they build on what they did last season, winning 9 games in the regular season, 10 overall, I think, beating Oklahoma in the bowl game? Physicality. Can you improve on that, Florida State? That's the word for Florida State. Clemson. Forgotten? Forgotten is my word for Clemson. Will that be enough motivation for Dabo, Klubnik, and company to prove us all wrong this season? In a weak ACC, I think 3 really good teams in the ACC are Clemson, Florida State, and North Carolina. North Carolina has a possibility to sneak into the playoff, but they are not in the top 12. They don't get a word. But Clemson does. Are they forgotten? Go back to your roots, like Alabama. Dabo is a great coach, but Clemson feels a little stagnant to me. Everyone else around them is getting better every year, and Clemson's kind of just stuck in the mud at that 10-3 type season the last couple of years. 7 is USC. And USC's word is compliment. Not like I'm complimenting them, like complement the offense with a good defense. That's the word for USC. Of course. Can USC and Lincoln Riley complement Caleb Williams and that offense with a capable defense? If you're in the Pac-12 in 2023, you'll need a great defense, in my opinion. All them quarterbacks, I think there's probably 6 top 25 teams in the Pac-12, if not 7. I have done my predictions, so you can go watch those if you want to. Can Grinch finally do it on defense for a Lincoln Riley squad? He was at Oklahoma. The defense sucked. He's now at USC. First year, the defense sucked. Can it get better? I know they've gotten some transfers in, and recruiting is okay. Compliment Caleb Williams, USC. For Texas, mindset. Mindset is the word. I thought back. I thought consistency. Mindset's the word for me. Like Florida State, they need a mindset of physicality. Texas is always very talented, but do they have the right philosophy and mindset in mind? A lot of them love their skill position players, and that's great, but you have to control them lines of scrimmage. I say play keep away if you're Texas. Help your defense out a little bit if you're Steve Sarkisian. Run the ball a little bit more. I know Bijan Robinson is gone, or is he back? I think he's gone. But Texas has to rely on their strength, which is the offensive line this season. Kind of like what Michigan wants to do is keep doing. That's basically the bottom criteria for a playoff team is physicality on the offensive lines. And I think it's a mental mindset for Texas. It's just a mental makeup. What do you want to do? Beat people, out physical them, or do you want to be a stray away from college football like Alabama and Ohio State has the last couple of years and be finesse and pass the ball? Come on, Texas. You can win this Big 12 conference. You have the talent. I think you will. It's mindset. Okay. Penn State, their word is Aller. Penn State has two great running backs. The offensive line should be better, and they have a great defense coming back. Can Aller be the guy that Penn State fans expect them to be? Penn State is a big question for me because of that position. I love everything else. He looked good in limited time last season, except for versus Michigan. You know, the best opponent that they had. That's to be expected. Aller is the linchpin for Penn State, and James Franklin needs to quit outthinking the room and not do some trick plays and shit when you are the better team. Go win. Now, Penn State only lost 2 games last season. It was Michigan and Ohio State. Michigan put 400 rushing yards on them, and Ohio State ended up winning late in the fourth quarter versus Penn State, putting that game away. Then they went on to destroy Utah, which is a team coming up here, in the Rose Bowl. So, you know, and they lost Sean Clifford, a leader. It's all about Aller. That's the question. For Georgia, like I said, no order in any of these. Repeat is the word for Georgia with a question mark. Can they repeat? Stetson Bennett is gone, but Georgia is reloading everywhere else. I mean, they can maintain their dominance with or without a quarterback. That's my philosophy. Build the team, the quarterback will come or learn and be pretty good. Will Beck or Vandergriff be as prolific as Stetson Bennett? That's a question. But it won't matter, I don't think. Like I said, around them is the number 1 or 2 team in the nation still. Like the team. Take out the quarterback. The rest of the team, Michigan is 1 and Georgia's 2, vice versa, however you want to put it. Them are the 2 best teams. So they're going to be right back there. Can they repeat? Can they beat Michigan that now has the proven quarterback? We shall see. LSU. LSU's word is maintain. Maintain what you've been doing. LSU had a good first season under Brian Kelly, coming over from Notre Dame. They beat Alabama and won the West Division. Now, they ran to the buzzsaw that was Georgia last season. Purdue was a cakewalk in their bowl game. They got them practices, though. And I think they just need to keep doing much of the same, but beat Georgia this time to make the playoff. That's their thing, is just maintain and progress. Last but not least is Utah, and their word is underappreciated. Or unappreciated, however you want to put it. 2-time Pac-12 champions. Whittingham saw them into the Pac-12 to begin with. When they were Utah, they got into the Pac-12, and now he saw them into the Big 12. They survived. They're winning the titles, and the Pac-12 is going away. They're underappreciated. Rising is back. Cam Rising, and he doesn't want to lose to USC again, or ever, I think. It might be his first loss this year coming up. I think he'll lose. If you saw my predictions, he'll lose 2 times to USC this year. But Utah is still going to be finished probably number 6 or top 10, in my opinion, in the country after the season is over. I like Kyle Whittingham. They're just very underappreciated. So there you have it. Then were the 12. There were a couple of notable mentions like Oregon. Now, Oregon's word would be flash. Do they want to stay flashy? Dan Lanning isn't flashy to me. He seems like he is more of a get down to the business type of guy. Let's work in the real world and let's get the job done instead of the fluff and the pizzazz that Oregon has always been since going back to I just had him Tim. Man, the last couple of coaches before Chip Kelly were pizzazz, and then now you got Dan Lanning. I think going business-like for Oregon would be good. It will translate on the field, and I think Bo Nix will not be allowed to make some of the same mistakes that he made last year and at Auburn because of the fact that Oregon has a pretty good team, and Dan Lanning is a defensive guy. He wants to help the defense out by not putting them into horrible situations. Yet Oregon's offense is still good enough to win the Pac-12. So that'll be interesting. Flash for Oregon is the word. And then I had a couple other ones, but they're over there. So, and this video is getting a little bit long, but that's my word for every the top 12 or 13 playoff contenders in my mind. Let me know your word down below, and I'll give you 2 words for everyone that has watched this far into the video. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. It's fun for me. I just love doing these videos, and I just want to see some more comments. Come on. Tell me what your word is for every team, and let me know if you like the video or not by pushing the like button. Subscribe if you have not, and have a great day, everybody.